Good morning, hello and welcome to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown, joined down the line by Tim Young, day trader at Ayondo, and we're going to look at the FTSE at the start of the week. Tim, starting off, let's have a look at the hourly chart. Well, look, the FTSE's sold off a little bit. We've seen the pound sell off as well, and it seems that pairs trade has fallen out of favour. Well, what's going on now with the FTSE?
It's just yet another correction we've had. I see this as just a helpful, quite a useful correction, really. At the end of the day, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see the FTSE go off on a parabolic run, as it looked like it was going to do last week. I don't think that would have been. Those kind of moves don't tend to end well, so they don't really suit the way I was looking to trade the market. So I think it's just yet another correction, but it's a problem. If we can hold the 7.4 level, which it looks like we're going to, then basically that then becomes a higher high. I mean, that's moving ahead a bit to the daily chart. But on the hourly chart, this was as of the close yesterday. You know, it was looking oversold. We've got the stochastics were under 20, which is, you know, an indicator of oversold. The RSI was close to oversold. The MACD histogram was rising, and since then it's risen a little bit, so it's held that 7.4 level. So I see this as basically a higher low in the context of the overall bull market we've had in the FTSE. And it's just part of the ongoing consolidation. It really did look like last week it was going to break out and go on to new highs. It hasn't done that, but I think it's probably quite healthy, really, in the overall scheme of things. I don't want to see it go up like a rocket and then come back down equally fast. I'd rather it just steadily carried on, you know, consolidating at higher levels and giving it more solid platform to move higher.
Understood. So let's take, for an example, you've got 100% of your investment pot. The chart, or certainly the hourly chart, is indicating that this could be a buying opportunity. What percentage of that pot would you be looking to put in around these levels?
Me personally, I'd be putting around, say, no more than about 5% of my account in there. I know that some people would say that's a bit high, but you know, with the FTSE, because it's not like Bitcoin, you know, which is incredibly volatile, and you're not just dealing with one particular stock. I feel comfortable with that sort of risk on a trade with the FTSE. Probably wouldn't go too much higher than that, but yeah, that's the thing with the FTSE, because it's an index. I don't see it. It's not quite as volatile as other things that are out there. So that's the sort of level I would be risking.
Okay, and entry levels on this, are you trying to get in below 7,400 or looking at just a little bit above that if we see some resistance? How many touches of, let's say, 7,400 are you going to want to see before you going long?
I'm already long, so I'm not necessarily waiting for it to go back down to that level. I think it will hold, so I'd be comfortable going long at these levels, because you know, in a bull market, which it has been, it always, you know, you want to stay on as much as possible to get the move, because I'm anticipating a move back up to the 7,500s at some point over the next week. So, because that's happened numerous times so far this year. You know, we've sold off, everyone thinks it's going to be a crash, and then it just goes back up again. So that's the way I'm looking to trade it at the moment.
And looking at the FTSE Daily, so let's pan out a bit. You mentioned the higher lows on the charts. Just talk us through this, and what are the stochastics and the RSIs telling us as well?
Well, I mean, going back to sort of mid-September, we had that sell-off there, which was very similar to this one, which took it down to about the 7,200s level. And at that point, everyone thought, well, not everyone, but a lot of people thought that was the end of that particular run. And then we bounced back up to new highs from there. So then we've got a higher low now around about 7,413, or around about that sort of 7.4 level. Stochastics, again, I mean, I know it's very simplistic, but the last time the stochastics were oversold back in the middle of September, as you can see, that was a great time to buy. It rose up, stochastics got overbought, and now they're back to oversold again. I think this is the time to buy now, I believe, in the FTSE. We've got this oversold. We've had 4 or 5 days of down movement. as it seems to be the pattern of these corrections. It almost follows the same pattern. You can see that sort of pattern played out as well back in August. We had 1, 2, 3, 4-ish days down, then a flat day, and then it went back up again. Same happened in mid-September. It looks like the same sort of patterns playing out now. So we've had this correction, not too steep. The stochastics are overbought. The RSI is, well, close to oversold. I would see this as a good time to be getting back in on the long side.
And just briefly, you're not with us this Friday. You're off to Germany. Can you just explain what you're doing? Is it a holiday or business?
It's definitely business, but it'll be nice to see the city of Frankfurt. I've not been there before, so I've been invited there by Ayondo to go to the World of Trading exhibition in Frankfurt. I believe it's going to involve a live trading session that they want me to take part in, but given that I just do 1 or 2 trades a day, I'm not sure if I'm going to be executing one at that time. But we'll see. I'll be looking at the charts and calling it as I see it at the time. But I won't be taking a trade unless all the boxes are ticked for my criterion for taking a trade. But it should be interesting. Hopefully, all the technology will work smoothly on the day. I'm not sure how many people will be there present when I'm doing my trades, but it'll be very interesting to meet some other traders as well, and get their perspective on the market and see what's going on in the world of trading. And it should be an interesting trip, I think.
Well, hopefully you can feed back to us when we have you on the show next week. And even if you're not trading, I'm sure you'll be instilling some of your expertise to, I'm sure, a very, very large audience. But in the meantime, Tim, good luck with that. And that's Tim Young, day trader at Ayondo. Thank you for joining us here on Core Finance.
Thanks, Matt.